Welcome to Small Yard Big Pool Dreams. This is just going to be an abridged version of Evolution of a Pool Design. Just going to focus on the visuals here. So here you see a diagram. This is the first diagram I did of what we wanted our pool to look like. You can see the garage here. This is our family room. And then this is a patio area where a pergola or gazebo would be. And then this is the pool. Well, not exactly because I'm not an artist, but just showing where the pool would be. And then we wanted a garden area on the left over here with possibly a water feature. Originally we thought grass with maybe like pavers intermixed along the side between the garage and the pool, and then also along the back. But later, as you'll see in the render, decided that would be probably too expensive and also maybe not the best way to do it. For several reasons, we decided stamped concrete after that. And then the pool equipment would go in the back here, and then the little purple things are where we would have speakers potentially mounted. And so that was the first diagram, along with a list of things that we wanted that I gave to our pool builder. And he came back with this design. And you can see the stamped concrete, also the flagstone coping is what we wanted. We also wanted some tall trees on the left here where our neighbor is, to kind of separate from our neighbor. And then you can see he did the garden area in the back. This is just another view. He did like a full garden all the way around the corner. Just another view, same thing. Also, we originally wanted a safety ledge all the way around the pool, so you can kind of see that around the perimeter of the pool. See all of this really good in the overhead. So let's get to the overhead. This is looking back. We wanted the steps back where the patio area is going to be, and so you can see that. That's a closer up view of the steps. And here's the overhead, which is really the best view of everything. And we wanted a Baja bench along the back there, and then you can see the garden area, the stamped concrete with the flagstone, safety ledge around. These are a lot of things that changed, and that's why I'm kind of focusing on these things, because we changed a lot after this. This was the first rendering, and very beautiful look. There's just the nice shots, and that's pretty much it. Let's go back to that overhead. But you can see in the bottom right down here, there's a lot of sort of open space. I could see that he was kind of going for a more symmetrical oblong kind of look, but we didn't really care about that. We wanted it to be even more freeform than that, and you take advantage of this space down on the bottom right and make it just like a big sort of a look of like a swim hole that you just ran into in Hawaii, maybe in the forest, as opposed to a symmetrical looking pool. So we gave him that information. And I also did put that in Photoshop, and you can see I kind of photoshopped it, so I'm not an expert Photoshopper, but I also wanted more decking along the north side for laying out in the sun, because the patio over here by the entrance is going to be, completely covered. So we wanted this to be the sun deck on the north side of the pool as opposed to garden. And then down here on the bottom right, you can see how I showed him. I wanted to cut into that and open up the pool, make it even bigger, because it was such a small yard. We wanted to take as much advantage as we could of any available space for the pool area. So I sent him that with some information, and let's see, a sketch. Yeah, and then this is just a revised sketch, mostly the same. You see the water feature's gone because we realized there wasn't going to be room for like a major water feature over there. The deck, we said, make this a deck instead of a garden area on the north side, and then gave some dimensions as far as distance between the garage and the pool to kind of show how we wanted the pool to be as big as it possibly could be. So I sent him that, and then he came back with this redesign. Here's the overhead, and you can see on the bottom right how it dips more into that area, and so opens up the pool, gives you more swim space there. And then along the north side, a little bit more of a deck, still some trees and stuff, but a little bit more of a deck, and you'll see that evolved and that changed. On the left hand side, this little garden area, that changed, and the safety ledge. A lot of this is going to change. Overall stays the same, but it will change, you'll see in the next renders. And this is just some more looks of that second design, what it looks like. See that? And then a couple of night shots with the new design. And shot from that direction. So that's what it was. And so then I sent him, basically after this, we did the guy wire thing. So if you watch that video, you know the guy wire took about 5 or 6 months to resolve. Kind of good because we had a lot of time to think about it. So I sent him a new design. After 6 months, we had a lot of time to kind of really, make some changes and think about what we really wanted. So you can see we decided to have a small Baja bench in this curve down on the bottom right. We took away the all the way around the perimeter of the pool, having that safety ledge. We decided that was just a waste of space. You can see on the north side on the sun deck, take away that middle tree and give us a big open sun deck back there because we wanted a place to be able to have a couple of chase lounges. Different dimensions. Another big change on the left over here, we wanted to do a raised garden wall and make that a weeping wall where water just kind of spills over the wall into the pool if you wanted to, just for aesthetics. And so that this was a huge change. We also decided to do pavers instead of stamped concrete, and because of that changed the coping to more of a poured concrete coping. So I sent him that. And this is what he came back with. And so you can see right away that raised wall, and then the water is just kind of spilling, running down it into the pool. It's a cool water feature. You can see the pavers instead of the stamped concrete, and then with a poured in place coping, and then along the back, the open deck area between the two trees. That's another view, good view of the weeping wall here. And that rock that's on that wall, we also bought enough of that to hire a mason to cover all these cylinder block walls with that as well. So that's going to be a big change to the backyard, look at the backyard. And then also we decided instead of having trees along that one wall to the left you see there, we would just do a topper on the wall to increase the height of that between us and our neighbors. We're not going to do it on the back, even though originally we thought we might. We're just going to do it on the two sides. Here's another view, and he switched this to a pergola because we thought we were going to go with a pergola. We've since decided to go back to gazebo, but he, prior instructions, did a pergola on that. Close-up view of the weeping wall, and you can see the water just kind of spills down it, just kind of runs down it. And here's an overview. And so you can kind of see the new design and how it looked. This is just a view at night. Weeping wall, the lights and pavers and stuff. So that's that. And then I did remind him that there is a telephone pole back there, and as pretty as it looks, not having it in the sketches, he might want to remember that it's there. It's just something that they're going to have to work around. So he added the telephone pole. And then also I let him know that on the bottom left here, I wanted to extend that out a little bit. So you can see that that's grew a little bit bigger. So you can see the telephone pole there and then the tree off to the side of the telephone pole. And here's an overview. On the bottom left here, you can see how it opened up a little bit more over there. I wanted to make that a little more open that space up, make more use of that space. And this is really, for the pool shape, this became the final design here. And here's just a couple of night shots of the final design as well, except for a couple of changes, small changes, not really the shape of the pool. But I sent him the sketch just to say, hey, the Baja bench, it's stupid to have a Baja bench in front of a weeping wall because there's nowhere to put your arms, and who wants to sit in front of a water feature. So the Baja bench should be moved back to this north side, so you can see that in this. And then also we decided to move the tree over to the right hand side of the telephone pole, and then leave this area just kind of a little open area where we'll have a chair, maybe in a table, where someone can sit over there if they want to. That's pretty much it. And then the stars indicate again where we're going to have conduit for speakers, because they're not going to mount the speakers. They're just going to run conduit, and then we're going to do the speaker wire and the speakers. And that's pretty much it. But this ended up pretty much being the final design here, aside from moving that tree over to the right of the telephone pole up there, and then moving that Baja bench over to the north side of the pool. This is the final design. So yeah, a lot big evolution, a lot changed throughout the time. I'm glad we had that 6 months to really kind of think about it and make some big changes. I think if we would have gone with our original design or signed on the dotted line early, we probably wouldn't have thought of some of these things, and maybe later would have regretted it. So taking our time and having to deal with the guy wire fiasco was probably a blessing in disguise to give us that time. Anyway, that's it for this video of Small Yard, Big Pool Dreams.